Okay, kiddos, so today's video is about Alamo Lake State Park and the roads to and from it. Okay, so today we started from Quartzsite, drove along I-10 until we got to the State Highway 60 and came up here to the town of Wickenburg, or Wenden, and then we drove up the old road here. And this is a good paved asphalt road all the way up to Alamo Lake State Park. Stayed the night there, had a real nice time, very nice campground, I enjoyed it. Good if you want to go fishing. They have a ramp and cleaning stations and all that good stuff. And there's also a dump station, water fill, all that good stuff. Okay, so when I left the next day, I decided to go over here and check out this little oasis town, and then I saw that this Wickenburg Road here, it's a gravel road, and it looked like a well-paved, well-maintained road all through here. But when I got to about this point here, that's when it's a different county and the quality of care on the road drops significantly. So when I got here, this is where I started to have road problems. The first thing that happened was I sank into the gravel in the road. I was driving along, and all of a sudden, whoosh, I just dropped right down into a foot of loose gravel, and I was stuck. So I pulled out my leveling ramps and some plywood boards, and I used those as recovery boards and put the truck in four-wheel drive, and I was able to get out of there. So fortunately I had that. Then a little while longer I was driving along, and I had my I've got a air tube that goes from the air cleaner to the back of the intake manifold on the engine, which fell off. And it's something that's happened before on bad vibrating roads, and that's what this road is. So I had to stop and put that back together. And then a little bit farther here, I hit some really bad bumps and rocked the camper severely side to side, and I broke one of my turnbuckles, the front left side. And then when I got down to this point here, just about to Highway 93, that's when the roads were really bad and washed out, muddy. You had to be careful, get out, check the roads to see how squishy the dirt was. You didn't want to drive into something soft, otherwise you're going to get stuck, right? So I checked everything out there, and I finally got down to just about Highway 93, and there was one last section of the road that dipped down, and it was just in horrendous shape. You'll see that in the video. Then fortunately I was able to back up and go this way, and I hooked into 93 there. So that's where the video for today ends. Okay, I am at Alamo Lake, Arizona. It's about 28 miles north from, I forget the town. Maybe 60 miles east of Parker, but it's a big Army Corps of Engineers reservoir. There's fishing, boating, all kinds of good stuff. Okay. And here we are, camped in site number 33, and we have our own pet cactus. All right. Obviously, I just love my window here, my new escape hatch window with the clear plexiglass panels in it. Just lay here and watch the stars at night and the moon. And it is so cool. Oh, I love it. Ugh. Excuse me. Well, looks like the moon is just about to pop back through. Got a couple of pretty good sized clouds up there. Well, actually, it looks like we're clouding in. I don't know if we're going to get rain or what. I haven't given this thing a rain test yet, so that'll be interesting to see how it works. So we're getting a little brighter. Alright, well, I'm going to put this away and go to sleep. So good night, everybody. Okay, so this is the valley that the Alamo Lake campground and basin is part of, and it is a long, flat plain. I just saw a coyote run across the road back there, and you can just hear military jets flying around. And it is a long, straight road, probably about 35 miles. And that is looking back the way towards Alamo Lake. All right. Okay, this is where I get stuck. You see, I am in the middle of the road, but I hit this deep, deep sand. It pulls me to the right, and I sink in. Truer words were never spoken. So I'm stuck here for about half an hour or 40 minutes, digging out the sand and trying to figure out how to get out of here. Ultimately, I grabbed my ramps, leveling ramps for driving up onto to get the camper leveled out, and I used those for recovery boards. But I've got a lot of gravel to dig away from the tires, and it's a fine kind of a gravel, nothing bigger than quarter-inch nodules of quartz rock, but it seems to flow very easily. It has no packing ability. It just immediately pushes aside and spreads, and that's why I sank in so easily here. So I'm going to be running around here. I'm only showing the parts where you actually see me and not all the time that I'm working on trying to get out of the hole. And it's an interesting spot to be stuck in because there are no other vehicles the entire time I drove this road, and I was on it for a good 2.5 or 3 hours. I didn't see a single other car driving this road. And when I finally got to the end of the road, there were a couple of truck campers, and right near the access to the road, there were a couple of fifth wheels and travel trailers. Okay, so I think I'm getting close to fixing it, and then you'll see that here in a second, with some real-time video. And there we go, pulling out. I'm just going to get up here far enough and stop to get my stuff. Well, that was fun. I just had to dig myself out. And then once I got going, I kept going. So hopefully no one else is gonna find this. Plus I wasn't in four-wheel drive at the time, but I'll bet you I'm gonna be in four-wheel drive the rest of the way. And stay a little more to the center of the road because I just sank right in. So these aren't sand or recovery boards, these are just my ramps, but they made all the difference. If I didn't have these, I would be stuck. I would be stuck. Alright, let me put things away. Phew. Okay, so I have put everything away now, and we are starting back on our way to the end of Wickenburg Rd. And we're going to be a little more careful driving along this now. I'm in four-wheel drive, and I am now kind of aware that even though the road may look flat, there may be areas in the path, in the tracks, that have this fine gravel on it. It's just like driving over ball bearings, because with any weight, they don't support any weight. They just spread apart, and heavy vehicles like the truck and camper just sink right down into it to the bottom, and then it doesn't allow you to get traction to climb back out of that rut. So we're going to be more careful now. But you see how rough the road is here. I have to keep a real close eye out for any kind of dips and twists. And so that was a pretty hard one there. You can see the rock of the camper. And we're going to continue along here. You see how the road just goes straight off into the distance. And we just found ourselves a good one there. And there are going to be several worse ones yet. But I do like it. There's all these yucca trees and other things, and several coyotes that I saw, rabbits running. It's a very lively area. Okay, so we are hitting another real rough one here. And it's a good thing that you cannot hear what it is that I just said there. That boy should wash his mouth out with soap and water, I tell you. So I've been driving all this way, and I haven't seen a single car yet. I'm probably 2 hours into driving this road now. And there's another good bump. Oh, look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that. There goes the camera again. And there went out some choice words again. I shall not repeat those. But I had to stop here. That was a hard enough rock bump in the road that it bent the hook on my left side front turnbuckle. So fortunately I had a spare with me. I was able to replace and use that. And so we're just kind of yeah, now this here, I'm stopping here because I've got a hose that goes from the air cleaner to the back of the intake manifold, and it fell off. It happens every once in a while when you're on a washboard or rough road, and the vibrations and all the shuddering causes it to slide off of its connections. And I should really put some band clamps, hose clamps on it, but I haven't. Anyway, I'm just gonna put it back on here and we'll be on our way again. Fortunately, it's a fix that I have learned and can handle, do it in just a few minutes time. Okay, so starting the engine back up and we are on our way, and you can see that the road is still just straight off into the horizon. But I'm still enjoying this. It's a beautiful area to drive through, especially this time of the year, because things are greener here, I presume, at this time of the year. And there was a lot of stuff. The yucca trees had a lot of white flowers growing on them. You might see the flowers on them if you look to the sides at the trees. So here's a couple of yuccas we're going to drive past. And you can just see the kind of white yellowish flowering on them. And so here comes some more ruts up ahead. Ooh, you did not want to hear what I just said there either. Fortunately, I did make it through almost all of these. And I'm going to get out on this one here and just check to make sure that it's not muddy. Because if that thing is soft from water, I would just sink right down into it, and then I really would be stuck. And I don't have a winch on the camper, and winching out of that wouldn't necessarily be the thing to do. If you've got a front winch, generally you're going to pull yourself forward, and this would be a situation where you would want to pull yourself backward. So the road has been full of surprises, and what's funny is that there's a county line we passed at the last cattle gate or so, and there is a marked difference in how well the road is maintained from one county to the next. And whatever this county is, getting closer to Highway 93, they do not take as good a care of this road as the county out towards the Apache Reservoir, or the Alamo Reservoir, pardon me. So yeah, anyway, you'd think that they would get some trucks out there and fix it, but I guess Arizona, it's a big state, and it does only have a couple of major cities like Phoenix and Flagstaff maybe, but they maybe just don't have the funds to be able to take care of these little out-of-the-way things that are only used once in a while by someone like me. But then again, more people might use it if it was in better, more passable condition. So we're going to continue on. And you see the road, it just keeps going on mile after mile straight into the horizon. So as we do continue along, the closer we get to 93, the worse the road gets, which sounds kind of funny because you would think that the closer it is to civilization, the more easily it would be to take care of. So anyway, it's a good thing Cousin Rick didn't drive on this road, because he came down in his Corvette, and I don't think a 2012 or so Corvette would have done very well on this. In fact, if we'd have gone down here, I bet he would have been quite partial to kicking my butt for dragging him into this. Okay, so made it through another series of ruts, and we're on our way again. Now, yeah, so we're just going to go right through this, but you can see that on the right side of the truck there, some of these ruts, they're like 1.5 feet deep. No way that the truck camper would have gone through that. The pickup without the truck camper, 4-wheel drive, yeah, that would go right through it, no problem. Then another backup device I have for getting out of trouble like this is I do have my snow chains, and snow chains actually will work pretty good in mud. So there's another big yucca tree on the right. Unfortunately, the camera just doesn't catch how beautiful this area is. If you've got a lighter truck camper, you know, it may not be such a rough road for you to go on. My camper weighs probably about 35 or so 100 pounds with everything in it. And it was just me on this trip. Kelly stayed at home. Some of us have to work. Not everybody can retire. I don't really have to retire, but my back's had it. I'm just done with work. I can retire comfortably on what I've got. Fortunately, I made some wise investments early on. I highly recommend that people work and make your money while you're young and able. Save the traveling for when you're older and can't work. Nothing scarier than to be 70 years old and not have any money to live on. Of course, I'm getting off topic there, but yeah, that was another good rock. And you see that road, it just keeps on going, mile after mile. We're crossing a stream bed there. There's a good rock and roll. Okay, so we are coming up to the end of... Oh wait, no we're not. No we're not. We've still got more to go. That was another seriously bad set of ruts there. Fortunately, there is a bypass. So I am going to bypass this. And there's the ruts continue in this little stretch for a pretty good distance, maybe 1,000 feet. So we're going to just drive along this side here, and then we'll get back onto the road. But yeah, I was fortunate that this bypass was there, because that would have been a spot that would have ended my drive if I couldn't go around it. There's a no trespassing sign for some reason, I don't know. Okay, now we are going to head back over to the road. And there's some bad rocking again there, and fortunately for your tender ears, I am narrating over what I said. It's kind of too bad too, because I was listening to a oldies radio station while I was driving this, and they played some of the best music I've heard continuously in a long time, but because of copyright strikes, I cannot play the music. I'll have to use my own music I have permission to use. Okay, now I think we're coming up to the end of the line. Or so I thought. I keep thinking I am, but okay, and so I'm just going to keep going straight on Wickenburg Road. But that turn to the left is going to come in handy in just a minute. So here's another nice little rut in the road. And just make my way over that, rocking and rolling again. And you see the road just keeps going off to the horizon. And this is it, the end of the road. Oh my, did I say that? This is where I had to turn around. That was a seriously bad section of road. No way I could have gone through that. There's about a 10-foot drop. The ruts are 2 feet deep. And there was just no chance of me passing through that. So I'm going to back up here and get to the point where I'm going to turn around, and it's a tight turnaround. I have to go forward, backward, forward, backward, forward, backward, but I'm only going to show you the backing in and turning out. I'll cut out all the rest because it's boring. Okay, so we're going to make our way back up to that right turn, previously known as the left turn. And we're going to get to the highway here in about a quarter of a mile. If you look off in the distance, you can see there's a travel trailer or a fifth wheel there. I'm not sure what it was. But I think there were 2 or 3 of them within visual range. The farther they go, the more hidden they get in the brush. Oh my goodness, I should wash my mouth out with soap and water for that. That was a bad bump there, boy, I tell you. So this here's Highway 93. I have to make a tight right turn, so I am going to back up and swing way to the left so that I can turn to the right. And I'll go right after these trucks. Actually, not those trucks. Maybe it's another pair of trucks. There's a fair amount of traffic on this road. It's like a Tuesday afternoon. But it's a sharp right turn. And so I have to get myself in a good, advantageous position to turn right. And there goes the truck, another truck, and here we go. Okay, so we're just going to kind of show you a little bit of this road here real quick, down to where I turn off and go left and start heading towards Prescott. Prescott's a cool town. The drive up to Prescott is really neat. Just after where this video ends is a steep hill climb you have to go up, and there's some interesting rock formations and other things to see climbing that, and it's got a lookout at the top. I didn't stop there though, but that'll be on the next video. we're going to turn left here and continue on. There's a abandoned gas station that's been torn down to the right, and another one as we go under the bridge and to the right. There'll be another one there. And then we're going to see a Jeep cross in front of us here in a second, and that Jeep was like the slowest guy, and he was very difficult to get past. There he goes. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave any comments, questions. Give it a like if you liked the video. And if you want to continue watching my videos, you're invited to subscribe. So anyway, I will see you on the next video. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.